Hey everybody, welcome to the adult class today. We're going to work on a couple of different things. We're going to work on some weapons, so if you have those available, by all means get them. We're going to work on nunchuck, short stick, and stick. Make sure you have enough space around you that you're not going to hit stuff, so just take a minute, make sure you get your weapons. We're also going to get into Tabata. It's going to be a little bit more of a martial arts Tabata, a little less of a just exercise Tabata. So you'll need some clear space. Also helpful if you had something, whether it's carpet or some sort of pattern underneath you, because you're going to work some stuff on the ground as well during our Tabata. After some weapons, or in between those things, we'll get some kicks, some self-defense, and hopefully some strikes if we have time. All right. So what we're going to start with is just warming up. So I hope everybody's having a good start of their week. Absolutely, thank you for the feedback on last week's videos. Sorry about YouTube doing what YouTube was doing last week. We have taken precautions this time to make sure we have a recording of our own. So worst case, we can always put it up on website or Facebook. Yourself hugs. Stretch your neck. Round, round, side to side, front to back. Good, rotate your back. Rotate your hips. Good, put your feet together, circle. Grab kneecaps, ankle. So I hope you're spending your time away productively. I know I'm reading a bunch of books, which is always good. I enjoy reading a lot if I can, or having it read to me. My hopefully new computer game came out today, so when I get home, I'm looking forward to maybe getting a few rounds on that. It's a new VR game, so yeah, definitely looking forward to that, and just trying to isolate and stay healthy at the same time. Feet apart, stretch on down. Stretch on up. Stretch one foot. Stretch the other foot. Stretch the boot. Now we're just going to lean over to our one side. Lean over to the other side. So the Tabatas today, we're going to do 60 second with 20 seconds off, 8 times. So it's going to be a little longer than the last one, a little less intense, but a little longer. The exercises will be a little less intense, so I'll cover those here in a few minutes. Stretch it side to side. Good, turn. Stretch, make sure your back leg stays straight. Turn. Once again, make sure your back leg stays straight. Great. Go ahead and catch the ground. Move. Stretch forward. Stretch it. Good. Switch legs. Stretch it. Very nice. Put your feet together. Bounce it. And stretch forward. Pull one in, one out. Stretch. Good, leg on top. Bounce. And stretch forward again. Switch legs. Stretch. Leg on top. And stretch. Very nice. Now we're just going to stretch our fingers. So you're just going to steeple your fingers together. Stretch those things. Very nice. Going to look at the palm of your hand. You're going to grab behind, grab your thumb, stretch it away. So thumb away. Outside, look at your hand, grab behind, stretch. Very nice. So now we're going to stretch our wrist down. So hold. And on the other side. So that background noise you hear is actually raining. So it's raining, and you can definitely hear it on the roof here. So it's probably raining pretty hard. Excellent. So I'm just going to go over the Tabata drill. All the exercises first, so everybody knows what they are. We're going to basically do 4 exercises followed by 4 exercises. Again, 1 minute each, 20 seconds off in between to get our breath. And the exercises are all kind of unique. Okay? So the first one we're going to do is a front knee. And we're going to do it for a minute. I'm going to show all 4 exercises, and then I'll start the clock. Okay? So front knee, we're going to bring it up straight ahead. Don't bring it across your body, and don't bring it outside your body. Okay? So just going straight ahead. Key is we're going to do front knee, switch, front knee, switch during the exercise. So make sure you're switching. You're driving with the front part of your knee up and out. Okay? So front part of your knee up and out. Okay? Next one we're going to do is what we consider kind of a ground and pound. I'll use my handy dandy black bag right here. Just going to fold it over so you can see. I'm going to put a knee on. I'm going to do front reverse and then switch sides. Front reverse, switch sides fast. Okay. So we're going to do a little bit of a ground and pound. You can use a pillow, you can use air, but basically it's knee on the ground, 2 punches, switch feet, 2 punches, switch feet, 2 punches. Okay. So that's the ground and pound. Okay. Next one is an inside body movement. This is kind of our relaxed set. Sorry, just taking that out of my way. So on the inside body movement, we're going to step forward 1 foot, boom, and then we're going to just switch into the other one. The first one, just doing inside body movement. Side to side, okay, over and over again, left and right side. Last one, and this is one that's kind of takes a little bit more explanation. We're going to do a body climb drill. So I'm going to lay on the ground, boom, sideways. Feet are in closed guard. Hands are just neutral. Okay, it's going to walk 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, then repeat. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like I'm climbing up somebody's body. So again, it's just going to start closed. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a bit of a core exercise as well as low back. Need a pattern underneath you. Get a pattern underneath you. Okay? So again, minute each, 20 seconds in between, doing that twice. Okay? So get yourself ready. Get yourself mentally ready. I got the clock ready to start. So we're going to start. Oh, start. And there it is. So starting in 5 seconds. Starting with our front knee. Here we go. Keep going. Just 10 seconds left. Exercise is good for your hip flexor. Good. Take a 20-second rest. I'm going to bring the bag in for my rounded pound switch. 10 seconds. 5. 'Good, nice. Next one we're doing inside body movement as a speed drill. Remember, if you need to take a break, take a break. 5 seconds for the next exercise. Good. This is inside body movement, alternating sides. This is the relaxed set between the hard sets. There's 5 seconds left. Good job. So this is the climbing drill. And start on your back. Remember, it's where you're now, you can always take a break whenever you want to. So I'll start facing you so you kind of see what I'm doing. I'll turn. It'll be easier to see. So I'm starting to close. Here we go. Just walk up as high as you can. All right. Walk up. Walk up. Now I'm just alternating legs as I go. Which one starts, so I know which one ends. A lot of core in this one. Good. Standing up, getting ready for round 2. Remember, starts from front knee. Speed it up, slow it down. Take your time. Gonna go about medium speed for me. So we got about 5 seconds before we go. Here we go. Feel like I'm wearing a skirt half the time when my pants get in my way. Do a nice high knee. Turn sideways for you. Good. Remember the next one? Round and pound. Grabbing my bag. There you go. 10 seconds. Get through it. Super. Now we're going to do inside body movement. Side to side, alternating sides. Inside body movement. Here we go. Remember, this is your rest set. So keep moving. Get your breath back. Just 10 seconds left. Doing inside body movement. Now we're doing the climbing drill. Okay, body climbing drill. It's hard without a partner, but at the same time, good to work your core. Okay, good to work your core. So 10 seconds. There you go. Try and get your hips off the ground each time if you can't. At the end. That's all right. So you're climbing up to an arm bar. That's your mission. Sorry. Just 10 seconds left. Remember, start cross feet, climb, legs over shoulder. Good job. Everybody get it done? Take a minute, get a drink of water if you want. Coming back to some weapons. So if you got nunchucks, grab your nunchucks. We're just going to go over basics. And then from there, we'll go on to some other things, right? So take a second. Just relax. And I think I'll stop the timer because we're done our 2 sets of 8, or 2 sets make it 8. All right, so we're gonna grab just your standard, ordinary setup, nunchucks, pretty short string on mine. Make sure you always check your string if you got your own. If you don't have any, you can always order them from Amazon or any good martial arts supplier. Okay? So I'm gonna start with my one hand and then I'll switch over to my other hand. Okay? Just starting with the basic. Okay? So in this case, I'm just trying to circle backwards. In this case, clockwise, can see I looked anti-clockwise and think, but clockwise. Okay? And then I'm gonna circle to the inside. Okay, far enough away that I'm not even close to hitting my face. You can see here, just rotating inside. Now, depending on who you are, you can go what we call inside outside, right? Or figure eights. Let's turn so you kind of see what I'm talking about. We're going to figure eights. So learning how to use a set of these is just all about practice. Practice, practice, practice. You have plenty of time to practice. I always consider these kind of like knitting. In other words, you just got to kind of do it all the time to get really good at it. They are not a practical weapon in any sense of the word. They're in fact fairly impractical, but they're good for body awareness, and that's why I like them. So I got my figure eights. I can do doubles. So you work 2 and then 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 2. You can go slow or fast. So one of the pro tips, hold as high up to the grip as you can. The further away you hold, the more effort it takes. And frankly, you can see, it takes a lot of effort. They are further away from you and thus a lot safer. But I like to hold near the front, so I work very little when I'm working these. Okay? All right, let's switch to our other hand. Okay, we're just going to work outside. In this case, still rotating on this hand, anti-clockwise or counterclockwise. And now I'm going to work through the inside. Okay, so the inside of my arm. You. Now, one of your hands, obviously not big, as good as your other hand. Okay? And I was working figure eights. Got those, you do doubles, or you just stay in figure eights. If you don't have any of that, you can just be spinning to the outside the whole time. Okay? Perfectly fine. Good. Okay. So if anybody's having trouble, got to slow down a little bit. Now we're gonna go the other direction. Okay. The other direction has more risk, mostly because I'm spinning in the direction it can hit my arm near my elbow, and I don't want that. So I'm just gonna spin it counterclockwise on this side. Work them again, work outside for a bit. Then work on the inside. Got that, work for figure eight. So my goal is to use only my wrist and just a little bit of my arm, okay? So I'm really rotating my arm over to get that figure eight. What I'm not doing is I'm not using my whole arm to get it, okay? Just my wrist to get it. Everybody generally starts with using their big arm, upper arm to do this work. I just trying to roll my wrist over to get that figure eight, okay? They work doubles, particularly hazardous on this. Go towards my elbow. Go. All right, let's work it on the other side. Okay. So in this case, clockwise. I'm working now with my left hand. So we go first outside. Just going to spin it outside first. You take a fighting stance if you want to. As I said, I tend to walk around all of these. In the old days, I'd talk on an actual phone, okay? Like corded phone with set nunchucks. That occasionally worked out very poorly for the phone. So now I'm spinning on the inside of my arm. Hard to see, but it's on the inside of my arm. And then I'm working figure eights, going towards my elbow, so the dangerous ones. Good. So that's basic, just 101, just learning how the weapon kind of works and responds to things and stuff like that. We're just really getting our spins. Most things end up in a spin of some kind. Okay? So what, in this case, a flat spin. You do a flat spin over, under. This is a figure eight flat. Okay? It's a little bit fancier drill that we just did. So instead of drilling to the side, I'm now drilling flat in front of me. Okay? Again, I'm keeping lots of distance between me and the weapon. Arms almost fully extended. Slight bend in the elbow. Okay? So that's flat. It's the anti-clockwise or counterclockwise flat. A lot harder. Got to focus on this one. Good. Same kind of thing, just working flat now. So just working your spin. I think you have your figure eight. It's where wrist makes a difference. Okay. Actually, I have to pay attention to the weapon on this one. Offhand and difficult movement. There you go. Okay. And then working anti-clockwise, okay. Anti-clockwise, figure eight, anti-clockwise. For some reason, I find this one much easier. Don't ask me why. The other one much harder, okay, coming inside versus outside. Okay. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is what we consider a bounce drill. So I'm just going to bounce the string near my hip. That's all I'm doing is bouncing string near hip. Okay? Feeling particularly awesome, you can always do a spin in the middle. Just make sure you got lots of room between you and it. Okay? Nothing worse than catching it low. Okay? So I'm just adding a spin in there. So I'm just bouncing off my hip, my leg. I like my hip. Now we're going to do a little bit of what I call around the world. So I'm just going to catch it behind my back and transfer it to the front. So catch behind. You miss, just reset. If you're doing awesome, you can put a spin in there. In front, not behind. Now we're going to go the other way. Catch in front, drop behind, catch in front. Spin in there if you want. Spin, catch. Basic around the world. Good. So now, very important, I only throw it under my shoulder. I never throw it up my shoulder. Okay? Mostly because you have a tendency to hit yourself in the head if you go up. So I don't want to hit myself in the head. So I'm just going to catch underneath my arm. So just catch, catch. You can spin it once if you want. See how it's just dangling there? You just kind of catch it. Okay? Spin, catch, spin, catch. Again, get into a fighting stance. Always helps on these. You can go slow, you can go fast, whatever you're comfortable with. You don't have to rush on these things. So just as a rule, I don't do anything around my head. Okay? So I don't spin it around my neck. I don't get near my head, anything associated with that, because way too much risk there. Okay? So again, whenever I'm going to go up, I'm going to go down on my shoulder. Okay? The only place I ever go up is in between my legs, and I bounce it off my backside. Okay? That's the only place I do it. Okay? And then you can do catches in front. That's just a spin into your hand. Okay? So that's nunchucks. Kind of one-on-one. Again, I kind of treat it like knitting. It's not a really serious weapon. In fact, it's mostly designed for, separating rice or wheat or something like that. It's farm implement original, right? So there you go, nunchucks. So next thing we're going to move up to, short stick. Now, this is just an 11-inch stick. You can use a rolled up magazine. What I have is a lanyard on it just so I don't lose it when I'm working drills that are faster. Okay? The lanyard goes around your wrist, and then you got to stay. Okay. Now, a couple of simple ways to hold the stick. Number one, anytime I'm doing a thrust, I'm making sure, sorry, get right in the middle here, that my palm heel is sitting on the stick. So if I'm going to push it in, I'm going to make sure there's a palm heel behind it so the stick doesn't slide in my hand. Okay. Otherwise, I have generally a very loose grip on my hand. These bottom fingers are doing all the work. My thumb's really just the pivot point for the stick itself. Okay, so there you go. That short stick. What we're going to do with a short stick, a little bit of snap strike. So I'll be in a fighting stance with short stick in front. And I'm just going to drop my elbow. Okay, so as you can see, just let my stick kind of pop in my hand. That's really all I'm working now. Pop drills. Okay. It's nice and simple. Okay. Why don't we just do 50 outside, 50 inside? Okay. So kind of like drumming. So you're just going to do this. Hopefully you're done. I'm just going to switch hands. Again, we are ambidextrous when it comes to these things, so we get a lot of practice. Right? Okay, just to kind of show you what that looks like. What I'm going to do is just a little pop, kind of like drumming, only I'm getting the stick to kind of move in my grip. So once again, making it move in my grip. Okay, I'm not using my arm to drum, but rather just moving it in my grip. Okay, so you can do this by just tightening your fingers, and that makes it go. Okay, tighten your fingers, tighten your fingers. A little bit of wrist motion, and that's all you got. Okay, what we consider a pop. Okay, next one we're going to do, roll this bad boy out of my way. It's more of an arm extension. So all I'm going to do is hit arm. Okay? No wrist now, just arm. Okay? Work my 50 on this. So tight grip. So when I'm doing that extension, all I'm doing is, okay, got a rhythm, but you can't dance to it, right? You're just going to switch hands, boom, do the other side. Same thing, arm extension. Good. So again, adding those things together, that's where the magic happens. Okay. So it's going to get a little closer. Okay, you can see. So my arm's going to come, and then my wrist's going to pop. Okay. So I'm adding both upper arm now. Okay, muscle in my upper arm, muscle in my lower arm to this effort. Okay. The difference on the bag is pretty tremendous. So pretty simple. Right? So now it's my whole arm doing the work. So here. So just this part and this part all together, get a lot more energy in it, right? So we're going to do 50 of those two things combined together. I'll off angle it for you so you can kind of see. So in this case, arm. I hate striking air just because it doesn't give you a feel of what actually is going to happen. I like hitting the bag if I can, but may not have a bag at home. There's a little bit more wear and tear on your wrist because it's doing all the work to stop the stick so it doesn't swing through. Okay? And we consider this yellow belt curriculum. So just give you where it goes. Let's work it on the other side. Good, and that's short stick strikes. We worked all outside, so coming outside. There's nothing stopping you from working the side and the inside. Okay? We'll do that a different day, mostly because too many of these things, you wear all the skin on your hands when you're stopping them with your hands. Okay? Much easier when you're working on back. You probably don't have one of those, so we're not going to work on that. Okay? Next thing we are going to work is some just basic straightforward attacks. Okay? So again, I'm going to palm heel it in my palm. So there's no stick sticking out. And I'm just gonna poke straight ahead. Now my fingers are controlling, if you will, the stick laterally. So I'm just gonna hold on to it with my thumb and my pointer and get my So I did 10 low, 10 high. Then I'm going to switch hands, working on the other side. And high. Good. So if you're working at home, good job. Now I'm going to, you can always do air on those. But I'm going to show kind of the next strike. We're going to come around the corner on this one. So my wrist is going to bend. I don't want to put too much force on my wrist, but I'm going to bend it just a little, come in, try and get my elbow behind it if I can. It's going to hit around the corner. Okay? Again, we're just doing 10. And you can definitely work an air on these. Okay, working on the other side. Working on the other side. All right, one more square. So the reason one of these things works, mostly because if you roll up, as I said, a magazine, you get the same effect, same kind of object, about the same length. Okay? And that's universal everywhere. Okay? Number two, you're taking some kind of force and reducing it to the size of a quarter, which makes it have a lot more surface area. That's a lot less surface area, a lot more pounds per square inch. So you can get a lot bigger strike off of this than I can this as far as pounds per square inch. So that's why we like the short stick as a practice stick. Okay? There are a lot of other things you can do with it. As I said, we worked all outside today. Another day we'll work inside. Okay? So we'll work on inside stuff. Okay? So there you go. That's a short stick and what you can do with it. Right? Now we're switching to our last of the series. And that's your standard 26-inch long, straight, nothing special about this stick. Okay? This is one of those things that grows on trees, so bonus. Okay? They're available pretty much everywhere in various forms. This particular one's just a waxwood stick, okay? So less likely to break. It's not a rattan, mostly because I like a little bit more weight. Okay? So we're just going to start with what I consider basic warm-up finger exercises. Not that you'd ever use this in any kind of combative situation or anything like that, but I like to warm up my fingers. All I'm doing, just kind of show you guys, is just rolling it through my fingers and back again. This is something you want to practice where if you drop the stick, it does not matter. So if you practice on the carpet or something like that. Okay? And I just like to warm up my fingers that way. You can go fast, you can go slow, really up to you. I don't tend to go to my last finger. So I stop before I get to my pinky, mostly because as I get to bigger sticks, I won't have the strength in my pinky to take it back. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do, same drill. And I'm just going to get close so you can see where I'm working a figure eight. So I'm just flipping my hand over just like I did with the nunchucks. Okay. But now I'm working a figure eight. Okay. So it rolls down, rolls back, Goes down, try and get it lower for you. There you go. So slowly, keeping the direction of the stick always the same. Now, as with everything, we work on our ambidexterity. Okay, so now we're going to work it on the other side. Just a finger warm up. Okay. Now, hard one, figure eights. So on this side, I tend to go a little slower. All right, so next thing I'm going to do, we've already warmed up our wrist with short stick. So I like to make sure I got good control. So I'm just going to do 180 switches. So I'm just palm spinning, okay, in this case. Again, be someplace you can drop it. I like to work a couple of palm spins and wrist rotations. So in this case, I'm rotating outside. It's kind of what we call in sword fighting a Molinet. Okay, so palm spins and then Molinets, just get our wrists ready to go. Okay. Same thing over here, palm spins. Okay. Palm spins. If you're awesome, you can spin in both directions. It's hard for spinning in both directions on your offhand. There you go. And again, working some Molinets. Let's get those wrists warmed up. Very nice. Okay. So first thing we're going to do, the way we grip it, we make sure we have about 2 inches sitting at the end. Okay, just your standard grip. You can put your thumb on top. I tend to always tuck my thumb next to my main finger there. And what we're going to do, do a fighting stance. Stick is on the back leg, okay? Not on the front leg at this point, the back leg. And all we're going to do is just swing through air. Okay? So this is a diagonal strike down. It uses both wrist and then shoulder. No core at this point. We're not hitting anything. Okay? We're going to 10 times. And then on the other side, switch your feet, back leg. There you go. Good. So now we're going to work same position, so back hand, leg, but now we're going to work it across the other way. So getting this hand out of the way, it's going to work cross striking. Okay? What we call number 2. So it's going from outside shoulder to the other hip. Okay? So just strike across. Just getting 10. So when you're striking nothing, or you're hitting air, you got to be much slower. Okay? You can't go full speed because there's nothing to absorb the force, okay, other than your joints. And you want to always protect those. So in this case, you're extending your elbow. I never get the full extension. I always want to slightly bent. So let's get 10. Don't worry about hitting hard. Just get the motion. That's all you're working on. Good. Now we're going to do what I consider like a back scratch. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it across my back and come after that first strike again. So across, back. So I'm just rounding myself, rounding myself. Okay. This is a confined space drill. I can do it just about anywhere, and I'm just going to pull it off of my shoulder. So we're just going to do 10. Want to add the block? That's fine. Okay? The block. No block. Do it on the other side. Block first. Roof block. No block. And just give you like a perspective of force, it's about this. So I'm hitting with just the last 2 inches of my stick, and I'm hitting hard. Okay? Just pull straight through, no effort. Okay? Now is this strike. know there's going to be the other. So now I'm going to, hard to see, but I'm going to flip the stick over, take it up my shoulder, come around my back, take it off the other side. Okay? Give you a little bit of side perspective. So here, it comes up like it's blocking my head, coming around, scratching my back, coming off that shoulder. We're going to work 10. And now we're going to work 10 on the other side. Okay? Up, around, down. Good effort, okay? Good effort. So, kind of last thing we're working on this one is going to get some core engaged. So now I'm going to hit cross. Okay? So you can start in a fighting stance, it can be in backhand, you can start in front hand. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to do it off the rear hand. I'm just going to strike across. Okay? Now, my recovery of this is important. It's going to hip out for you. Okay? So in this case, I'm going to swing through and I'm going to pull it to my hip, kind of like it's a set of nunchucks. So here, okay? I don't just swing through wildly. I want to take out my camera. So in essence, I'm taking straight here. Okay? Sorry. So I'm just going to shorten the curve. Okay? Doing it 10 times. That's 3. Switch your feet. So this serves 2 purposes. One, if I'm happen to be standing next to somebody, it's my somebody, they're arm's length away, I should be able to hit that person without hitting that person. If I just swing, I'm going to hit that guy. Okay? So I don't want to hit the person next to me. Okay? Instead, I just want to swing through. Pop it to me. See, I can get closer and closer, still deliver a strike, and I'm now really close. Okay? What would be unsocially acceptable right now. Okay? So that is stick. Okay? And again, this one's 26 inches long. You can buy them at Home Depot or online. Mine's waxwood. There's nothing special about it. A lot of people use rattan instead, but I'm going to be hitting with a long time with this thing, so that's why I like stick. Okay? There you go. Nunchuck, short stick, and stick. Okay? So what we're going to end up with, a couple of simple things to kind of work through. Okay? First thing, we're going to spend some time on some kicks. Okay? So we're going to work side kick and backside kick. What are considered quintessential martial arts kicks. Okay? Now, I teach them probably slightly different than most people. Okay? So for me, a side kick off the back leg is delivered to the side. Okay? So it seems impractical to turn all the way around and throw a side kick. Now, we definitely have some practitioners that can throw that kick really fast. Okay? Where they spend their time getting it chambered and kicking out. It's awesome. Okay? But what's faster is a front kick because it goes to the front. So kind of the assumption we always make in self-defense is that you're going to be defending against more than one person. So if there's somebody over here at 9 o'clock or 6 o'clock, I want to be able to kick down. So again, I'm going to pick my leg up like I'm doing front knee and then kick to the side. Okay? And that looks kind of like it's got a big old pause in it, but you can just kick to the side. Okay? And that to me is a traditionally probably why the side kick existed in the first place. Now, a lot of schools have kind of adapted it to being kicking straight ahead, and it looks great. Okay? So the key on a good side kick straight ahead is I'm going to chamber so that my entire side is facing the person, and then I'm going to extend. Okay? And my base foot is turning, the one that's on the ground still, is turning 180 degrees towards that target. Okay? So side kick to the side doesn't need that base foot turn as much. Okay? Just turns 90 degrees to deliver that side kick. Okay? So you can do them either way, but let's just catch 10 side kicks off of each leg, and 10 off of each leg. I'll do half forward and half to the side, okay? Just so I can split the difference, okay? Here we go. Ready? 1. And recover. Okay? 2. 3. 4. And 5. Now, foot position-wise, you want your foot parallel to the ground, hitting, toes pulled back, hitting with the edge of the foot or the heel of the foot. Okay? Now let's do, you can do them to the front if you want, but I'm going to do mine to the side. Ready? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we are ambidextrous, so we're going off the other leg. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, I meant to do that on the side. Ready? 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, good. So those people that are more interested in the tactical aspect of kicking, okay, there's a self-defense oriented side kick that goes straight ahead. Okay? We call it kind of a corkscrew kick, just because your leg or hip corkscrews. So it comes up like a front kick and then corkscrews over to a side kick. Okay? And all the momentum of the leg kind of pulls the leg through. You can kind of see it. Okay? So again, no longer showing everybody I'm doing a side kick, I'm showing everybody I'm doing a front kick. So it comes up, flips over. Okay? That's more of the tactical version of a straight ahead side kick. Okay? And of course, you can always do side kick off the front leg. Okay? So again, up, over. Okay? Kind of corkscrews its way in. And you definitely practice your corkscrew side kicks. Back side kick. Okay? So back side kick is awesome. And again, I probably do it differently than a lot of folks. Okay? My backside kick, I offset my front foot. So it's hard to see, but my heel is going straight ahead. Okay. Now, a lot of people tend to come around the corner and then kick. To me, that takes all the momentum out of the kick. I want to kick, no loss of speed. Okay? So the other key thing about a backside kick is if somebody's at my back, I'm going to throw that kick. It is a side kick delivered to the back. Okay? That to me is a back side kick. But we have also adapted it to be a lot of energy going straight ahead as well. Okay? And again, offset your foot, more offset it than normally. Okay? My heel's got a straight target. Okay? Why don't we just catch 10, 5 to one side, 5 straight ahead. Okay? Here we go. And I'm just going to pick up my pants so you can see. Normally I have hands up, but I want you to see my heels. Okay? So offset on these ones, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, remember, when you're kicking air, you got to kick a little lighter. When I'm kicking something like a bag, I kick super hard. So I want to make sure everybody stays safe. I don't want to hyperextend my knees. Now I'm going to kick to that back quadrant. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now let's go the other way. Okay, offset my front foot. Here we go, straight ahead. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Go offset. Okay. So now somebody's behind me. I'm going to kick that direction. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we really have designed our kicks to be self-defense oriented. So got a front kick to go straight ahead. We got a back kick to go behind me. And got a side kick to go that way, and a back side kick to go that way. Okay? We consider that kind of around the world or a clock drum. So you can kick in any direction. Okay? If I want to kick over there, I can do a front kick, I can do a side kick, I can do the other kick. Okay? Really, we think about an opponent in any position so that we can respond to that position. Right? All right, we're going to talk briefly about self-defense. So, kind of a universal rule to getting out of somebody's grip. When somebody grabs you, the direction their fingers are open is the way out. Okay? That's the universal way to kind of get out of anybody's grip. Okay? So, if they grab upside down, the way out's down. Okay? They grab, I don't know, backwards, the way out is always in the direction the fingers open. Okay? Now, if you got a uniform on, the way to get out of that grip is fully extend that thing and then pull it off of you. Okay? Or you can always use that thumb, okay? And just peel the banana. You're just going to take your fingers and peel the banana, which is the thumb in this case. Okay? So that's the easiest way to kind of get out of grips. Okay? Don't be all worried about somebody that's much stronger than you. Okay? So if somebody grabs my wrist and they're super strong, I'm just going to tie my hands together so I can use my core now to get out, okay? Versus just using my arm strength. Okay? And remember, the natural reaction when somebody grabs and pulls is for them to pull back. Okay? That's like the natural self-defense reaction is kind of, I'm going to try and pull out. Okay? And that just tightens up the grip. Okay? So instead, grab, rotate. They're grabbing fingers that way, or I can grab, circle, and grab, pull down. I can grab, pull up. Just remember, pull to the side of your face so you don't hit yourself in the face. And nothing more embarrassing than escaping and giving yourself a bloody nose. Not that I've ever done that. I have. Absolutely have. So absolutely just grabbing and pulling, very important. Okay? So the second thing I want to talk to you guys about is just basic awareness. Okay? So being aware means really paying attention to everything. Okay? Now you can't pay attention to everything, but I see a lot of times people put in earbuds and are walking and they're not really listening. So they can't hear cars going by, they can't hear bad guys going by, they can't hear anything going by. Okay? So they've taken one of their senses offline, okay? And in essence are listening to music. Now I love listening to music, but I don't generally do it if I'm riding my motorcycle or running or any of those kinds of things where I need my hearing to be a part of my awareness. Okay? So very important if you're walking to your car at night that you're looking around what's there, okay? Really paying attention to what's going on. Okay? That's awareness. And anytime you're inebriated or basically not functioning on full sleep, you're taking some of that awareness out. Okay? Now, again, I'm not saying you need to go home to Thanksgiving dinner and be like all paranoid. That's not the goal. Okay? The goal is really to let your awareness level be equal to the situation. Okay? So a lot of people consider that, green, yellow, red as your light color. Maybe you go to condition black in which you're doing active self-defense. So again, a lot of people have kind of designed methods for really thinking about tactical awareness and awareness in general. So that's kind of self-defense tip number one, being super aware and always knowing when you go into a building where all the exits are. Okay? Not that something bad is going to happen, but I want to know, there's a front door, there's the back door, there's the emergency exit. I want to always spot the exits if I can, so that if I need to leave quickly with my family, I can get out of there if I know where the exits are. Okay? And I'm going to talk about two bias to kind of end out what we're doing today. Okay? So bias are really your mind's way of protecting itself. Unfortunately, they have the opposite effect in self-defense situations. And one of them we're seeing very commonly around now, which is called the normalcy bias. Okay? The normalcy bias, your brain basically wants things to be normal, so they try and relate things to being normal. And a good example of that was, and I use it all the time, is I saw a picture of a plane that caught on fire in Las Vegas a couple of years back, and there's a picture of people walking off the plane with their luggage. Now, if you think about it, a fire on a plane is a really dangerous thing, but the plane stopped, and what happens when planes stop normally? People get their luggage down. Well, the plane's on fire. You don't need your luggage. You need to survive. So that's called the normalcy bias, in which your brain kicks it into a normal situation if it can. So it's in a dangerous situation. It doesn't tactically think of it as a dangerous situation, and it makes it a normal situation. And we see that right now with people that aren't wearing gloves or aren't wearing masks or aren't keeping enough distance. They're thinking it's just normal. They're not worried about it. And we'll talk about that one in a second. But normalcy bias is very important. If you're in a dangerous situation, get lost in the woods, you're in a car accident, you need to assess the situation correctly. That's how you overcome it. You need to take into consideration the facts of the situation, not what you want them to be, but what they are. So that's kind of overcoming the normalcy bias. The next one is I'm going to survive bias or survival bias. So your brain thinks it's always going to survive. Okay? It thinks it's going to survive any situation it's put in. Okay? It can't really project forward that this situation could potentially kill it. So that survival bias is really bad in like fires, or it's really bad in any sort of tactical self-defense situation in which people are being crazy. So the survival bias is in fact really dangerous if you get lost in the woods, if you get put in a situation that's actually not survivable, and now you need to do stuff to survive. So you drop into San Francisco Bay, that's not survivable. Okay? You need to start doing stuff to survive in that situation, whether keeping your body temperature up or getting back on the boat or whatever you need to do in order to survive that situation. But just sitting there is not going to be survivable. So you got to remember, that your brain has some biases that kind of get in your way as far as self-defense goes. Okay? So I just wanted to cover those too. We're seeing them a lot with this coronavirus that's going around. People are absolutely treating it like it's normal, and that's the normalcy bias kicking in, and they absolutely don't think they can die, okay? Which is the survival bias kicking in. Okay? So try and assess your situation properly. Okay? That's it. So again, thank you guys for coming out. The mission for us this week is to try and get 4 of these videos, adult class videos in, and we'll alternate between teaching and drilling. Today I knew we were going to do a lot of weapons, so which is a little less lower high energy activity. So that's why we got a 8-minute Tabata versus a 4-minute Tabata. But hopefully everybody had fun. You guys stay safe.